wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today we want to make this a short presentation about macroeconomics. The purpose of this presentation is to explain to you about macroeconomics. Before that, let me introduce our team.
My name is Yunitas Di Azalwa.
My name is Tamara Akhimazifa.
My name is Afra Utami Putri.
And my name is Nadira Alifa.
Okay, we would like to give you some background information about macroeconomics, which will be presented by my colleague Yunita.
First, we want to talk about macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is a branch of economics that studies the structure, behavior, and performance of an entire economy. It looks at how economic functions on a large scale, analyzing aggregate indicators such as gross domestic product or GDP, unemployment rate, and national income and inflation. Why is macroeconomics important? Macroeconomics help us understand the broader trend that affect the well-being of nations. It examines the factor driving economic growth, the causes of economic crisis, and the tools policymakers use to ensure stability and prosperity. Focus of macroeconomics. Let us now dive into the main focus area of macroeconomics, which highlight its role in addressing large-scale economic issues. First, aggregate output and income or GDP. Second, price level and inflation. Third, unemployment. Fourth, economic policy, monetary and fiscal. The next slide will be presented by my colleague Nadira.
Aggregate output and income GDP. Aggregate output and income, typically measured by gross domestic product or GDP, represent the total economic activity in a country over a specific period. GDP reflects the value of all goods and services produced within an economy and is calculated through three approaches. The production approach measures the value of output. The expenditure approach sums up all spending, including consumption, investment, government expenditure, and net export. And the income approach accounts for all income earned by factors of production, include wage, rents, profits, and taxes minus subsidies. The second one is price levels and inflation. Price level refers to the average cost of goods and services in an economy, while inflation measures how this price increases over time. When the overall price level rises, the purchasing power of money decreases, meaning people need more money to buy same items. Inflation is typically measured using indicators like the Consumer Price Index or CPI, which track change in the cost of a typical basket of goods and services. Moderate inflation is normal in a healthy economy, but high inflation or deflation can cause economic problems. Central banks manage inflation by adjusting interest rate and controlling the money supply to keep price stable. The next slide will be presented by my colleague Afra.
Unemployment. Unemployment refers to a situation where a person actively searches for employment but is unable to find work. Unemployment is considered to be a key measure of the health of the economy. Types of unemployment. Number 1, frictional unemployment. This type of unemployment is usually short-lived. It is also the least problematic from an economic standpoint. It occurs when people voluntarily change jobs. After a person leaves a company, it naturally takes time to find another job. Similarly, graduates just starting to look for jobs to enter the workforce add to frictional unemployment. Number 2, cyclical unemployment. Cyclical. Number 2, cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is the variation in the number of unemployed workers over the course of economic upturns and downturns, such as those related to changes in oil prices. Unemployment rises during recessionary periods and declines during periods of economic growth. Number 3, structural unemployment. Structural unemployment comes about through a technological change in the structure of the economy in which labor markets operate. Technological change can lead to unemployment among workers displaced from jobs that are no longer needed. Example of such change includes the replacement of horse-drawn transport with automobiles and the automation of manufacturing. Number 4 is institutional unemployment. Institutional unemployment results from long-term or permanent institutional factors and incentives in the economy. The following can all contribute to institutional unemployment is: first, government policies; second, labor market phenomena; and the last one is labor market institutions. Effect on the economy. Unemployed workers must maintain at least subsistence consumption during their period of unemployment. This means that an economy with high unemployment has lower output without a proportional decline in the need for basic consumptions. Extremely low employment can also be a cautionary sign of an overheating economy, inflationary pressures, and tight conditions for business in need of additional workers. Next is monetary policy. Central banks typically use monetary policy to either stimulate an economy or to check its growth by incentivizing individuals and businesses to borrow and spend. The monetary policies aims to spur economic activity. Conversely, by restricting spending and incentivizing saving, monetary policy can act as a brake on inflation and other issues associated with an overheated economy. The Fed frequently uses 3 different policy tools to influence the economy. First, open market operations. Second, reserve requirements. And the last one is discount rate. Okay, and next is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy refers to the steps that governments take in order to influence the direction of the economy. But rather than encouraging or restricting spending by businesses and consumers, fiscal policy aims to target the total level of spending, the total composition of spending, or both in an economy. The two most widely used means of affecting fiscal policy are government spending policies and government tax policies. And the next slide will be presented by my colleague, Tamara.
Next objective of macroeconomic policy. Number 1, creates jobs and reduce unemployment. One of the foremost goals of macroeconomics policy is to foster job creation and lower unemployment rates. This is achieved through various means such as stimulating economic growth, encouraging investment, and supporting industries that generate employment. Number 2, stabilize price and promote sustainable growth. Maintaining price stability is vital to avoid inflation or deflation, which can disrupt economic activity. Macroeconomic policy aims to create an environment conducive to sustainable growth. ensuring that economic expansion occurs without leading to excessive inflation. The last one, ensure balanced trade and government budget. A balanced trade position helps maintain the value of a country's currency and promotes economic stability. Additionally, macroeconomic policy focus on achieving balanced government budgets, which is essential for long-term fiscal sustainability and preventing excessive public debt. Okay, to sum up, understanding the objective of macroeconomic policy is essential for shaping effective economic strategies. By focusing on the job creation, price stability, and balanced budget, policymakers can foster a resilient economy capable of adapting to challenge and promoting overall prosperity. That's all we have to say about macroeconomics. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi